Alright. I believe we're underway.
You know the surface is going to cut out, right?
Yeah, it probably will at some point. If it cuts out, it cuts out. Alright, let's get out of here. What way do we go? This way, isn't it? Alright, I don't know who's going to join in, but who's gonna rock up, but we're live. You can read the chat, I guess. I think I can say CJ there.
Yeah, it's Mark.
I'll focus on the road, you focus on the chat there on the screen.
I don't even fucking see it.
Well, face the phone your way. Pacific M1. Yeah, this way. How we going, fellas? Which way do I go, bro?
Left.
I'm just fucking asking a simple question. Don't need to get angry about it. Alright. Connection will probably cut out at some point, but...
That way. That way. Right.
My bad. Bit hard to tell. Alright, here we go. We are on the road.
Yeah, Mark. So.
We are on the road again. Fuck, these roads are shit in the dark. They're fucking dangerous. They're fucking pathetic. Alright, I think there's not many people watching at the moment, but we might get a bit of a crowd. Saturday football review. First time I'm ever doing it live like this. Definitely won't be a habit for sure. What time do you reckon? What did he say?
Probably around 2 o'clock, Moxley.
Yeah, probably 2 o'clock in the morning. Hard to really say.
Maybe 1:30.
There's not much traffic about. It's pretty quiet. But in saying that, you think you'd be back in 40 minutes, but it ends up being an hour. So we'll see how we go. But Super Saturday, quite surprising. The game that we went to, Broncos and the Tigers, not the result that I think anybody wanted. What'd you make of that, Josh?
Don't want to talk about it.
Don't want to talk about it. Don't blame you. I was quite surprised. I thought the Tigers mentally would be really hurt after last week. Ended up being the complete opposite. Brisbane at home, big crowd, Saturday night. I thought they'd be up. I thought they'd be ready to go. Trying to finish in that top 4, that might have hurt them. Really disappointing with the Broncos. Thought Adam Reynolds had probably his worst game of the year. Went on for a HIA, came back. Thought he was going to win the game for him, and then next minute, it just didn't go the Tigers' way. The Paddy Carrigan hip drop tackle on Jackson Hastings. That was pretty much the ball game when that conversion went over for 26-18. But pretty poor night for the Bronx. Definitely something that needs to be looked at. We've got the Roosters next week at the SCG, I think Thursday night. So it's a really, really tough game. It's a pretty short turnaround as well. So big game there next week. But I thought the West Tigers played well and they deserved the win. 32 points to 18. And I just got to say as well, anybody that had the Tigers 13 plus, congratulations. They were paying $6.50 before kickoff. 13 plus would have been paying at least $25 to $30. So if anybody had a spare $10 on that, congratulations. What a win that would have been. My man of the match from the Tigers game, I reckon the best 3 players on the ground were Jackson Hastings, Adam Doueihi and Dane Laurie. I think Doueihi was probably the best player on the ground, but Hastings and Laurie were very close. And if I had to pick the Broncos' best player, I'd probably have to go Payne Haas. Seems to be the only one that gives a fuck in the forward pack. I guess Carrigan was good too, but Everyone else got rolled. Thomas Flegler, back to his old fucking dirty tricks. Walters looked like a fucking idiot out there. Didn't know what he was doing. Poor old Corey Oates couldn't get the ball. I don't know what the go was there. Oates could not get the ball once. Tessie New at fullback. Been pretty good the last couple of weeks. Absolute dog shit performance from him. So it's fucking strange seeing the Tigers do this. They go to Townsville last week. They lose on the bell after the siren. They go back to Brisbane. Everyone thought mentally they would have been hurt from the Cowboys game and they would have got clapped by the Broncos, but the Tigers had that mental toughness and they did what they had to do, and I think Brett Kamala deserves a bit of a rap too. He wasn't even at Townsville last week, he had COVID. So, well done to the Tigers. Fair play to them. As for the other two games, we didn't really see a whole lot of the other games. I probably saw maybe half an hour of the Sharks Souths game, and all reports, one of the games of the year. I saw probably the 50th minute to the golden point. I didn't really see much of the first half. I saw the Johnson and Ronaldo Mulatalo tries, but we were on the train going from Robina to Brisbane, so we didn't see a whole lot of that game. But from what we saw the last 25 minutes, it was absolutely crazy. The Andrew Fafita try was remarkable. I think it was the Tola try, that was controversial to an extent, but I think it was the right decision. The Cameron McGuinness no try, I thought that was fucking disgraceful. I thought that was a try every day of the week. He lost. So what happened was he was going to ground the ball. The ball come away from his hands, but he didn't contact anybody, and he still had downward pressure with his hand. So I don't see how the Cameron McGuinness try was overturned. I thought that was disgusting, to be honest with you. Latrell Mitchell, probably his quietest game since coming back from America from the hamstring problem. He missed 3 field goals. He probably should have kicked one of them, but sometimes it just isn't your night. And the Sharks at home were a very tough side, especially at Cronulla there. Pretty big crowd from what I saw, so could have went either way. Sharks ended up stealing in the 87th minute there with the Nico Hines field goal. I just got to say as well, the Tom Burgess send-off, I thought that was a terrible decision. I thought a sin bin would have been fair, but it didn't really matter in the end because it would have been 13-12 anyways, but I thought sin bin would have been fair. Send-off was a bit ridiculous. I don't think Tom Burgess should get any more than 2 weeks for that. It was an accident. There was no intent there for a deliberate high shot. So if he gets more than 2 weeks, I'd be pretty pissed off about that. But I don't think Souths lost any fucking supporters tonight after that. They were good, but Sharks they got them by a field goal in the end. I thought a draw might have been fair, but great game of footy from what I saw. And well, man, the match is hard for me to judge because I didn't see all of the game, but I thought Nico Hines was outstanding. The parts I did see, so
Burgess is getting 3 to 4 weeks.
Burgess is looking at 3 to 4 weeks, is he? Well, that's fucked. That is fucked. I reckon that's fucking bullshit. But yeah, Nico Hines probably man of the match, kicking that field goal there. Sharks win by 1. And the other game, well, honestly, couldn't give a single fuck about the Titans and the Raiders game. We actually could have went to that. We could have went to Titans Raiders, but we just went, no, I don't want to go watch the Titans play. They're fucking shit. Canberra trying to play for the top 8, but didn't really matter in the end. Canberra got a win, 36-24. Kotrick got a double. Chris got a double. Hustle Young scored a try. Jaden Campbell got 2 tries off the bench. Didn't see a lot of the game. Brian Kelly scored a great try as well early on. Tino Fasul Malawi just continues and just nothing more than a fucking grub. And I think it's at the point where there's a reason to hate the bloke. He's a grub. What he did in State of Origin to Matt Burton was disgusting. Every week he seems to always get in the fucking fights and push and shoves and just bullshit. So Tino's a fuckface. Maybe he's been targeted because of the origin, I don't know, but he's a bit of a dickhead in my opinion. As for Canberra, they probably should have won the game by more than 12. They probably should have been a lot more convincing than what they were, but at the end of the day, they're just trying to win as many games as they can to try and make the finals. So I wouldn't say it was pretty from Canberra, but did what they had to do in the end. It was a bit like Parramatta in that second half against Penrith last night. Friday night, I should say. It wasn't pretty. It was pretty ugly, but they got the job done, and that's what the Raiders did. I think the Raiders game against the Titans reminds me a bit like the Warriors Storm. It wasn't pretty for Melbourne, but they got it done in the end. Xavier Savage, pretty average game from him. Had a couple of errors and shit. It wasn't the best game from him this afternoon, but Raiders did what they had to do and they got the job done. My top three from that game, I'd probably go something like Hudson Young would be in that top three. Sebastian Chris would be in that top three. And I'd probably go with someone like Jack White. And if Jack White didn't play, I don't think Canberra would win. So I'd probably go man of the match, Sebastian Chris, but White and Young would go pretty close. Kodrick had a great game too, but Canberra too good. Gold Coast best player was probably Jaden Campbell. But we're just driving back home now. We just left Chinderah about 10 minutes ago, so probably still half an hour away, 40 minutes away from getting back home there. I'm a little bit tired from just the whole day in general, but yeah. All right, well, that might wrap it up. 12-minute review, whatever. I think the Wi-Fi or the data will cut out here soon, the deeper we get in. Anyway, I'll be uploading my vlog tomorrow for the Broncos and Tigers. Anyway, have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you guys later.